Many people in Florida believe that, you know what, timing isn't very important after an accident. Maybe you're not in pain immediately. And if you are in pain, well, you know what? We can put off going to a doctor because I can still live. I can still do things. Even though now I have pain, I can still do things. So I can put things off. That seems like a reasonable position. That is a reasonable position. But unfortunately, the way our system works, that position will eventually be used against you by the other side. What do I mean by that? Well, let's just say you're in an accident, you're in pain, but you're trying to brave and, go through it. You don't get treatment for a couple weeks. What can happen is you can lose out on certain benefits. If you don't get treatment within 14 days, you lose out on up to $10,000 in benefits from your PIP coverage. And I've talked about that in other videos. You have a gap in treatment right from the start. So you haven't gotten any treatment, even though you're in pain. You tried to be a hero. You didn't go get treatment. So what does the other party do? They hold that against you. I've had many cases where I've had to file a lawsuit. We go to court and the defense attorney will have a chart with a timeline on it. And they'll say, see, Mr. So-and-so, here's the accident and here's when he first got treatment. If he was in such pain, why is there this big gap in the timeline of their treatment? They try to plant a seed in the jury's mind. Maybe you're a liar. Maybe it's some kind of fraud to get money from an insurance company. So any gap in treatment, they're going to use against you while you are trying to do the right thing and not see a doctor. If you can try to live through it, you're hoping it'll go away so you don't see a doctor, but ultimately that will be used against you. And some juries believe that. Well, if he were injured, he would have gone and seen a doctor right away. That's one of the quivers in the defense's weapons that they use against you. So don't let them do that. Also, there are statutes of limitation in Florida that you have to bring a case by, or you forever lose your right to bring a case. And I recently just got a call from somebody whose statute of limitations is going to run in a week. And they put it off and they put it off. And it's hard to do anything in a week. It doesn't really help you to put things off. It's just like when you have something you have to do and you keep putting it off and putting it off. Well, it doesn't make that thing better. Oftentimes it gets worse. A case is just like that. You want to hit it right from the jump. You're injured. You were in an accident. The other party's at fault. I often tell people, and I see this a lot with men, they try to be a hero. They want to go to work, and I understand that. I would do the same thing. What I'll say is go to work. Do that which you can do, but get the treatment so that you can, get better, but also you can put things on paper that you can have your evidence trail. That's the evidence we use to prove your case. What I would say is, you're in an accident, you're in pain, call me. We'll talk about your case. I can go through all of these things with you and we can discuss at length the strengths of your case, how I can help you. I'd look forward to talking to you. I appreciate it.